Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video here, I'm going to be going over two methods that I use to restore and do black polishing on screws and then also some watch parts. For example, swan neck type regulators if they're black polished to remove rust or to bring back or to take away scratches from being mishandled and things like that. So if you like this video, please, if you get a moment, please like and subscribe, and I'll be putting out some more quick little videos like this on my YouTube channel. But then also in the description, you'll find a link there to my Patreon channel where I've got some tiers available for watch collectors and hobbyist watchmakers who want to learn and get to know a little bit more about watches and things like that. But back to what I was talking about, I have a device here, and it's a really good tool. I use it quite a bit because I do restoration work on some older timepieces, and over the years they've been in so many different hands. Sometimes they just need some freshening up, or if the screws are really marred, then they need to be, restored a little bit more. So this is a screw head polisher, mounts up in a vise here. And basically what happens is there's a collet there's a collet that goes in here that holds the screw head. So there's different size collets. I'll show you the box in just a second. And the screw gets mounted up in here. It gets secured down and then loaded on here. And then depending on the condition of the screw, this is the original box for it right here. So this is a steel disc here. This is a brass or a bronze. I think it actually might be a bronze. And this is boxwood. So we have different size collets through here. So depending on the condition of the screw, if we need to take it down a lot, then we would start with the steel and then go to the bronze and then go to the boxwood. So depending on the type of screw, also if the screw has a rounded head, we wouldn't be using something like this. For something like that, I would mount it up on here, but I wouldn't be using these discs because it's got to be a flat. So I'll just show you here using the bronze. It's got to be a flat, so this is adjustable to sort of, so you don't set a groove into these discs, because parts for this tool I don't think I'll be able to get anymore. I'd have to remake these discs here, but you want to be able to move this around from here. But I have polished rounded head screws on this also. You would just remove the disc here and just sort of polish with different with not different tools, but with different abrasives through here very lightly. And bring back sort of polishing sticks and some of the polishing paste. But this one here is made for flat head screws, and you can see that this is flat, so when it goes up against it. One very important thing here when you're using this is when you have to make sure that the screw is absolutely flat before you start. That way you're not getting the screw on an angle and it doesn't look very good, and it's not proper workmanship. And then when you install it in the plate, it's on an angle. So all the tolerances have to be checked while you're going down. I'll go into a little bit more depth on my Patreon channel as to the polishing paste that I use. But this is one of the tools that I use in my workshop here. So I just wanted to show that. And I remember, as an example of how long it takes to do a screw, I got in a Omega Seamaster a couple years ago, and the screws were in really bad shape. So it takes approximately, for me, it takes about almost 5 minutes to do a screw, when it's really bad. If the screw slots are not in good shape also, I have a set of old screw head files, so we have to refile the slot, and if they're angled something a little bit more high end, we would use different stones to bring back the polish in the slot also if it's beveled through there. But for example, that Omega that I was talking about, there was about 20 screws in there, and they all needed to be, some of them just refreshed, but a lot of them needed to be repolished. So, at 5 minutes a screw, at 20 screws, it starts, that's 100 minutes, which is over an hour and a half just spent in screw polishing. So I just wanted to show everybody that, and one of the tools that we use here. So again, if this is something that interests you, that's a tool that you could look at. And then also, real quick, I'm just gonna change the camera angle here. There we go. Now, whoops, sorry. All right, this is another device that I use. This is one second, I'll just get. I'll move this away. There we go. Okay, so this particular tool here. So this is a lapping glass. So it's something that is absolutely flat, and I have different abrasive papers here that are on double-sided that I've used depending again on the finish that I want and how far I need to take down the screw or the part that I'm working on. And for example, I think I could show this here. You'll probably get to see it. This is if you can see the finish on there. This is a winding wheel from an old pocket watch that I was practicing on and slowly determining exactly how to finish and go about there. So this is a really old tool also, this bolt tool. It's got a holder here where you could shellac the part to, or it could hold the screws through here. And I tend to use this one here if I want a little bit more control, or if a screw is really, really small, just so I don't lose it inside the other tool. And then also when it comes to black polishing, once we have the abrasive plates or the abrasive papers here that we use on the lapping plate all finished and the screw is ready to go if we want to do a black polish, then I have a piece of zinc here that I use to do the black polishing on. So if some people are familiar with my work on Instagram, they'll see some diagrams that I have of this, and then also the polishing tool. But a screw takes a little bit longer than 5 minutes to bring it back from here. Again, swan neck regulators and different parts to a watch. Sometimes they have a black polish, and black polishing is done. It takes a bit of time to learn. It takes a bit of time to understand exactly what kind of polish to use, depending on the type of finish that you want, and then also a lot of patience, because you got to make sure as you go through each particular polishing paste that the part is clipped really, really clean, because sometimes just the smallest little particle and underneath a loop, you're going to see a scratch through there. And the best way I could describe it is when you're looking under a loop, it's like having a fresh plane of being in Toronto, Canada here, reference to hockey, just having a newly cleaned sheet of ice on a hockey rink, and nobody's skated on it yet, and it looks absolutely perfect. And if somebody's ever seen the first skate go out, you could see the blades, how they've cut into the ice. That's the same thing when there's a dust particle that's left on a screw or something like that. When you look at it on a loop, everything is absolutely perfect, and then you start to see these lines. So that means that your cleaning technique isn't adequate enough when you're going from one adhesive to the next, and it's leaving some residue. But yeah, so please, again, if you get a moment, please like and subscribe. And you can shoot on over, if this is something that interests you, shoot on over to my Patreon, and I go through this in much more depth, the different polishing pastes that I use and things like that. So thanks again, and I hope to talk to you soon.